Hey, Meghann, Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show. We're here outside the Redemptorists in Limerick, and I'm joined by Father Seamus Enright. A very unusual time for you.
An absolutely unusual time for us because we're in the middle of celebrating our annual Novena. So this place would normally be buzzing with people and we'd have chaos on the streets around with the traffic. And now, of course, the church is open, but not all that many people in it. And we're streaming the Novena online.
I suppose that's a new way for all the churches now, is streaming online. And I know the Novena has started already. How are the people responding to being online?
Well, we started on Friday and we had a little bit more than 19,000 hits on Friday, with which we were delighted. Now, I haven't checked the numbers since then, but it got us off to a very good start. Right. One of the things that's been interesting for us is we miss the people, of course. You miss having people around. But we're probably in contact with more people since we closed the church than we ever were when the church was open, because, as I say, on Friday we had 19,000, but on an average day during the lockdown we've had between 4,000 and 5,000 people. Wow. And at the weekends it's gone up to 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. It was about 15,000 on Easter Sunday, and it's worldwide. So you have this sense, you're in the church, you're preaching, you're saying Mass, you think there's nobody there, and there is a congregation, but you can't see them, and it's a little bit strange saying Mass and preaching without people in front of you.
And with the current guidelines, when can you start letting your parishioners back in?
We're hoping that we can do it on the 29th. Brilliant. Now, there's a little bit of controversy going on at present because we were led to believe by the government that we could open on the 29th and that each church would calculate how many people it could hold safely. Yeah. Then last weekend they said 50. And so there's some negotiating going on at present, because it doesn't make any sense for us in a church that can hold 1,000 people to restrict it to 50. We had calculated ourselves about 120 safely. Yeah. So we're hoping that on Thursday the government will announce a compromise on that.
I think we saw as well, like communions, confirmations, weddings, funerals, everything has to change. Yes. And I know the weddings can come back, but again, it's only 50 people, isn't it?
I mean, I was supposed to celebrate 4 weddings, all of which have been deferred into the autumn and into next year. One friend of mine said she'd wait until next year to be doubly sure, but the others are all hoping for that the numbers might have increased a little bit by September, because you probably noticed on the paper yesterday that the 50 includes the venue staff. Yeah. So that restricts the numbers further. So it's been hard on people, I think, whose weddings, baptisms, confirmations, but I think the people who've really suffered are people who've had a bereavement, because we haven't been able to mourn. And Irish people do funerals so well, and the neighbours turn out and we talk and we drink and we tell stories. So I expect that after the lockdown begins to lift, that there's going to be a lot of trauma and a lot of unresolved grief and a lot of distress. So and then I think in parishes, especially, not so much here, but in parishes, I think a lot of memorial masses will have to be made up for because people didn't have the funerals properly.
And Father, do you think the sign of peace will be done away with now due to the coronavirus restrictions?
For the time being, at least. I think for the time being, people will have to receive communion on the hand only, not on the tongue, that the sign of peace will be so distant from each other in the church anyway that sign of peace won't be possible. There won't be holy water in the fonts. Anything that risks contagion will be eliminated.
Okay, that's interesting. I suppose big changes for all of us all around the world. And finally, Father, if parishioners want to tune in, where can they tune in for the Novena? Yeah,
they can come to novena.ie. It's easy to remember. Brilliant. And they'll find us there. And the church is open every day between 12 and 6 if people want to come and pray in the church and make a visit.
Father Seamus Enright, thank you so much for chatting to us on the Limerick Post Show.
Thank you very much for having me, Meghann. Thank you.